Today on the podcast, we spoke to the incredible Marcus Skeet, aka the Hull Boy, off the back of his biggest challenge yet. Just over 12 months ago, Marcus had never ran. He started running just 1 mile a day for his mental health after his dad was diagnosed with dementia and he struggled with being his primary caregiver. Marcus turned his life around from a point where he didn't know where it was headed. He decided to run the length of the UK, which was 1,400 kilometres, to raise money for Mind. He has incredible mental resilience. And by the way, he's only 17. You'll love listening to this episode. Let's get into it. Marcus, thank you for coming on. How are you?
I'm very good. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me on. It means a lot. I'm very excited to speak to you both.
You know, we've been wanting to get you on since we've heard about your crazy challenge and, you know, you captured the hearts and minds of the nation.
Oh, thank you.
But I think it started before that.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love for you to take us back to how you first got into running, a bit about day one and, your life before.
Yeah, well, I used to hate running with a passion. Like, every sports day in school, I'd make an excuse not to be able to go in, whether it was an injury or sickness. Anytime in PE there was running, I was hamstring had been pulled. But no, I just never liked exercise when I was younger, and I remember I was in a very dark place. I was suffering quite badly with my mental health, and this was March last year, so not that long ago, and I went for a walk, not really knowing what I wanted to do in life. I was in a very confusing place, and that walk saved my life, so I built it up, went for a longer walk, and then I realised that exercise was so magical, so beautiful, so I set myself a challenge to run 1 mile a day in April, and I got 200 metres down the street on day one. I went for a takeaway, and it was beautiful. But no, I just realised how beautiful running is. It puts your mind to its greatest limits, and it also pushes your body to the extreme, and also helps everything. Like, the feeling after a run's beautiful. So I gradually picked it up, started with a mile, and then moved on to a further distance, and I realised that the feeling after that run, when you finish that run, is like nothing else, and it beats everything.
Yeah, you said like it pushes your mind to the limits. I think it does in a sense, but also it really quietens your mind as well. Yeah. Like, can you talk about a bit how you said that like first walk saved your life? And
yeah, well, I think I don't know what my intentions were that day. I was in a very confusing place, but I remember just walking, and I looked at the sunset. Now, I live in Yorkshire, a little town called Malton, and it's beautiful, very picturesque, and I remember like just looking out and thinking, wow, I can walk to this, I can see this with my own 2 eyes, and it was like, just imagine what I can do going for runs. And I think scenery does help, especially in the UK. You can see so much beauty, and you just, I don't know, getting there on your own 2 feet meant so much, and that walk really did help me, because I realised that there is so much to life, and the whole thing about improving yourself, whether that's mentally, physically, with your running speed, it all comes down to self-improvement, and it's something so beautiful, and I really very grateful I went for that walk, because I wouldn't be here without it, to be honest.
And so you said you wanted to do a mile a day.
Yeah.
And you said that you got 200 metres down the road. Did you do a mile that day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. That was the... well, that didn't come out right. So in April, I set myself to go a mile a day. So in March, I tested the waters to see how far I could do.
Okay.
That's when I went 200 metres. I didn't do a charity challenge and then flop after the first day.
But so you ran a mile every day in April with no running background?
Yeah.
And how did it go?
Do you know what? It was quite mad. Like, I remember just posting it on Twitter for my friends to see, and yeah, that was, it exploded. I'm very grateful for that month. But yeah, it also taught me a lot about myself, because in that month I ventured out and tried to do a 5K one of the days, and there was so much unknown about what I could do, and I felt so humbled after each run, but also very proud that I was able to do it. And without them miles, I wouldn't have built up the distance and wouldn't be here now, so I'm very grateful.
And you kind of speak of that kind of gratefulness for that period. Did you feel happier having been through that month?
100%. Yeah, it felt like I had a purpose every day. Like, even if it was just a mile, or for people it could be 5K, 10K, you have that goal you drive towards. And if you wake up and you look at the week ahead and you got no runs planned, you feel, I don't know, a bit empty inside. For me, I have to have a plan in, and I have to have something to work towards, whether it's a big event, a big challenge, doing something daft, or just getting out there and running for your mind. Because, yeah, that month was unreal, and it was a starting point as well. So, yeah, I miss that month. I actually do. I miss just going out and exploring Yorkshire and just running a mile where I fancied.
And you've gone on to do some really fun and amazing things. Did you know that was the plan at the end of the month, or was there a period of time on the last day of the month where you were sad because you didn't have a goal?
Yeah, well, the last day, I actually ran and met Russ for the first time, Russ Cook, and he was like, "What do you want to achieve?" And we were actually having a Nando's, and I was like, "Well, I want to run the length of the UK." And he was like, "Right, well, Marcus, we've ran a mile here. Let's just chill out. Let's go for something maybe a bit more sensible." So we went with a marathon. So after that, I realised I wanted to push myself. So the next month I did 5K a month, and then eventually went on to a marathon plan and went and did my best with that. But no, it was never, that month was never really about what was next. It was just about doing that mile. And I think when I started it was just going to be a month thing. And then I'd go back to normal life, probably eating the same. And I think the social media side of things helped it a lot, because it was like, wow, there's people actually rooting for me here. This is quite a surreal experience. So I wanted to prove myself right, and also prove other people, not prove myself right, prove to others that I can. That's not the right word here. What am I trying to think of? Prove to others and prove to myself that I can do something, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But,
no, it massively does. No, I think it's incredible. Did you, when you started posting it on social media, did you expect to get the reaction you did, or was it more for your own accountability?
no, it was just for my friends to tell them that I was doing the running. So it was mainly on Twitter X. That was quite a mad thing, because with social media, it's either one of two. You either get a lot of positivity, or especially with certain apps like Twitter, you get a lot of, it's a cesspit, let's be honest here. But no, there was a lot of horrible comments, but there was also so many people backing me, and that to me meant so much. Because, someone messaged me, it was like, it was really refreshing to see someone out there at your size doing something and bettering yourself. So yeah, the social media thing really did help. And also so I don't live my life on social media. I don't depend on it, because I feel like it's a very hit and miss thing. But no, I'm very grateful for it, because I wouldn't have these opportunities like today and doing these challenges without social media. And yeah. It can be such a positivity.
Yeah, but I think it is really refreshing that, you started social media without kind of meaning to, and you started this challenge without, aiming to do that. You just mentioned, you started training for a marathon. You did a marathon. Mm-hmm. Was that just a marathon by yourself, or did you race?
So I still legally can't do a marathon. That's the funny thing is, with
so
my
I guess
age,
the context there is, how old are you today?
I'm 17.
And how old? So you were 16 when you did this mile.
Yeah, so I can't actually do an official marathon until I'm 18. So I'm booked in for London Marathon next year when I turn 18. But no, so at Nando's, Russ said to me, if you can show that you are training and prove to yourself mainly that you can do this marathon, then he would join me. So he came down to my hometown in Yorkshire, and we filmed a few things. We had a chat, and he was like, right, I'm going to put it on social media, 7th September, London, Hyde Park. We'll do a marathon. And 300 people turned up, and that was so crazy to me, because I think that was my third time in London. That wasn't for Hull City football. It was my third time there, and it was this is mad. People came from all over the place. Someone came from Brazil to run, and it was life's actually quite mad. But I always use the word very grateful, but I am genuinely, this means the world. Yeah. Hopefully we can do. I can't even do an official 5K yet. I don't we're just here. We're just running, hoping for the best.
You can go to your park run.
Can I?
Yeah.
How old's that?
You have to be 13 or younger. And then there's a junior park run on the...
I've never actually done a park run before.
You have to go to a park run.
They're good.
I feel like my running's just been around the streets. That's really bad, isn't it? Just practicing on my Strava and things like that. But
yeah, the context here is you've actually ran a whole lot further than the marathon. Mm-hmm. So when you had proved that you were training hard, what did you sign up for, and what led you to do that?
Wow, right. So I wanted to run the full length of the United Kingdom. Land's End to John O'Groats, bottom of England to top of Scotland. And do you know, it's not really even a fun story. Do you know, I was on YouTube and I searched up running, and it just came up with this man with a backpack walking the length of the UK. I was like, well, I've got now better to do. So for the next hour, I sat and watched this man swim in lakes, and I was like, you know what, this is sick. I genuinely, this is beautiful. So I thought to myself, well, I could try and run this. And I pitched it to my mum, and she was like, no, absolutely no chance. She didn't trust me, and to be fair play. So it took months of convincing my family. Again, Russ was against the idea. A lot of people were against it. They were like, you don't have the common sense for this. It wasn't the running side of things. It's like, you are going to get ran over. So it was just about speaking and convincing myself and also my family that I could do the run. And then, yeah, so originally it was like one random December day. I was like, right, next week I'm going to do it. And my mum's like, no, you're not. So my brother actually stopped me from doing it a lot earlier. But I remember I thought, well, 1st of April, exactly a year from when I began my running journey, why don't I attempt to run the entire length of the UK? And I searched it up who was the youngest person to do it, and no one under 18 had done it before. So I thought, yeah, let's go for it. And yeah, it was the most magical 2 months of my life. And I think back to them 2 months for the rest of my life, I think, because it was something so magical and so peaceful, but also the hardest thing I'll probably ever do.
That's what I was going to say. But yeah, was it really that magical? How hard was it? Did you feel like had you trained for it? How?
Yeah, for me, it wasn't more about a set plan. I was just like, I spent 7 or 8 months just making sure I was staying consistent, going to the gym, eating properly, getting the steps in, doing runs, and making sure my mind was trained. Because I think with challenges like that, it's so, your body's one thing, but your mind is another thing. And like when you're out there running for maybe 6 or 7 hours a day, and you're just out there in your own thoughts, and you know you got to do it for the next however long, it can take a toll. And it was all about training my mind and realizing that I can do this. And this wasn't, it wasn't as if I was forced to do this. I chose to do it, and I wanted to prove to myself that this was like a dream. It wasn't as if it was a chore. And I remember the first day on the challenge, I was running about 2 mile in, and I just looked up and I was like, yeah, I've been dreaming about this. And I was like, yeah, let's go. And just nothing, we can't look behind. We just got to keep running.
And I guess for everyone at home trying to understand what it is running the length of the country, how far is it, and how far were you going each day?
I think it was 874 miles from a bird's eye point of view, but I think we did like 940 miles.
And it took you 2 months?
Yeah, well, so running days it took 48, but unfortunately the support car crashed, so we had a week of like, we're stranded here, which it sounds really daft, but we were stuck in an Airbnb in Carlisle for a week. And then it wasn't even in Carlisle, it was in a town, and there was no shops or anything for 20 miles. It was like, what do we do here? Because the support car was very important and the support team. So we had a week of that, and then I picked up a few injuries. So it was 48 days running, 2 months, 58 days of actual time. But no, it was beautiful. It wasn't any world record. Yeah. I mean, there's people out there.
Well, it's the world record. You're the youngest person to do it.
Yeah. No.
And so of those 48 days, how far are you running a day on average? Because that's just over 20 miles a day, is that right?
Yeah. So originally at the start, I was like trying to do 16 to 17 and just breeze along. And then it got to last week, and I think the last week was like 27, 24, 26, doing ultra marathons. And it was like, I've got no choice. We're going to have to keep pushing through here. And those days where it would be 1 or 2 in the morning, you're still running. And that was like, oh, you know what I mean? What are we doing here? But we kept going.
And just, this is at the age of 17.
Yeah.
And you have only ran your first mile 12 months ago.
Yeah. When you put it like that, yeah, it sounds a bit mad, but I feel like when you put your mind to a lot and you actually truly believe in it, you can do magical things. And you're seeing it with so many people, not even in running, but in life in general. When people are so fixated on improving themselves or doing something, they do everything they can to make it possible. And I realised that, yes, it's going to hurt, but if you can push through that mental battle, like with a marathon, the last 6 or 7 miles, the last bit, it's all mental, because your body's just going into overdrive and hoping for the best, and you just have to push through. And that's why you see a lot of people quit maybe 18, 19 miles in, but it's all about making sure you know it's not going to last forever, the pain, and you keep pushing through. So it was a bit like that for the challenge. It was like, yeah, we've come a long way, but we're going to keep going. You know what I mean?
And you speak through that so positively. Was it all sunshine and rainbows? Was there a moment that you questioned finishing?
Yeah, I think the worst part was, I think there was just days where we'd wake up. So I say support crew. It was me and my mate Harry, and I only met him a few months before at a Liam Gallagher concert, and it was just me and him, and he was the support man, he was the cameraman, he was cook, everything. Harry did so much, and there was a point where we were just really, really struggling, like mentally, because it was just days of waking up, running, going to bed, and I think we were both going a bit crazy with it. But yeah, I think there's days where it was, well, I remember one that was 2:30 in the morning and it was hailstoning. I still had 6 miles to go, and I was crying whilst I was running. It was like, what am I doing? And I remember, I think there's a video somewhere, and I was like, if I can push through this, then I don't have to stress about the little things in life. When I get back, we took so much for granted, like getting up, going for a shower, things like that. And I used to whinge about having to do stuff day to day, going to the gym. And I was like, one thing I would love to do now is sit in a dry, fresh gym, lifting weights. Do you know what I mean? And I remember thinking that and pushing through it. But no, it wasn't all happy. There was days where I wanted to stay in bed, and I just wanted to lay there for hours upon end, and I was just mentally in my own world. But I'm glad I pushed through it.
Do you think there's a point where you push through a certain point and suddenly your body kind of goes into autopilot, and it's like, yeah, it's, I don't know, it's got past the point of panic, and it's just like, right, well, we're doing it.
Yeah. I think that was probably in the last week I've really felt that, because everyone says the last week of a challenge is beautiful, or the last few days of anything, like a holiday or work, is beautiful. But that was the most stressful week of my life, because it wasn't as if it was, oh, we've got a week left. We've still got 180 miles left. So it was like very tough. But I think the last few days, it wasn't even, the pain was just there. Everything hurt, but we just pushed through it. And like, I know for a fact if that was the first week and I was feeling that pain, I wouldn't have carried on. But I think I kept going. And yeah, your body can do magical stuff. Like it's so strange. I used to always think, like, once you're tired, you give up. But once your mind puts it to it, your body can do practically anything. Apart from fly. Soon though, hopefully. Yeah. That'll be ideal.
Did you get injured at any point? Like your mind was like wanting to go, but your body is physically...
Yeah, do you know what? There wasn't any really bad injuries, but so 4 years ago, I did my ACL playing football, and the doctors, I've never had the operation, so my knee just like wobbles about quite a lot, which isn't ideal, and I probably should get that checked. But it's like, they said that I shouldn't be able to run with it, or like I'd be very careful with a mile, and I was just thinking, every time. Actually, yeah, there was an injury, and this is going to be a really horrible story to tell, but I was actually at the pub after one of the days in a local town, and my knee popped out whilst I hit it on a darts table. So I didn't actually, in terms of the running side of things, it was okay. I twisted my ankle quite a lot, and my ankle's like a bowling ball for quite a few days, but I felt quite good. Yeah, the body's in good shape for what I was doing, but I think it definitely hit me afterwards. The last few weeks the first few weeks after the challenge, it was like I couldn't even run. I could walk all right, and I thought it would be really weird. I thought I'd be like sat in bed for a few weeks, but I could walk. But every time I tried to run, I'd just get this horrible pain in my right quad. But it's sort of leveled out now, and we're back onto it.
Did you take the challenge Will Gooch style, which is, in my head, it's like, you know, eating perfectly, wearing his sleep mask and his Normatex and getting the perfect amount of sleep, or like Russ Cook, where he ate such random shit, didn't recover at all, and somehow still did it?
Yeah, I didn't do the first one, I'll say that. The food, it was weird because there wasn't always shops, especially in Scotland near the end. There was like sometimes no supermarkets for a lot of miles, so it was Airbnbs and Uber Eats. But like, it wasn't. I was careful what I ate. You know, I wouldn't have 3 pieces. I'd only have 2, and that was actually no. It was first few weeks I was trying to keep lean, and I thought, oh, this would be perfect. Lose a lot of weight doing this challenge. By the end of it, it was like
calories.
Yeah,
Need.
You do, and that's the thing. Like Strava was saying, I was burning a lot of calories a day, so it was all about making sure that I don't, collapse the next day. I needed to eat properly, and sometimes it doesn't matter how you get the calories in; you just have to cram them in. And I don't eat breakfast. I've never ate breakfast in my life, and some days I started running at 7 or 8, and I didn't want to stop for food, so it'd be like trying to cram in 3,000 calories when you got home. So yeah, we went Russell Cook style.
And then deep down, like behind all of this, you were also raising money for Mind charity.
Mm-hmm.
So that must have also been like the last bit of motivation if you ever needed it.
Yeah. So Mind are beautiful. I met the CEO last week in London, and she's so lovely. And to see that I've been able to help them means a lot. So the story with Mind is when I was in a bad place, I remember I rang a lot of helplines. So I rang CAMS, I rang loads of different places, and CAMS helped, and also Mind picked up, and they were like, yeah, we're going to help. And my dad suffered with depression and anxiety before it led on to dementia. So for me, it was always going to be Mind because they were always there. So I ran for them, and every charity challenge I've done and will do will be for Mind because they've saved my life, and I want to give my thanks back to them. And yeah, the last few days was quite scary. Not scary, it was quite mad. I went on BBC Breakfast the week after my challenge and told everyone I had a poo in Lidl, and it was horrible. There is context to that. I'm just gone and talking about my poos again. But I was sat in Lidl toilet, and when I walked in, it was on 70,000 the GoFundMe, and when I left, it was on 102,000, which either that means I've had a really long
poo.
No, but it was so crazy the last day, and I think now it's on like 165,000, which means so much.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, how did you do it? And it was like, it's not me, it's the beautiful people on social media that are helping share it and also help raise money for such a good cause, and hopefully that can help people who do suffer with mental health, because it is still a big thing. And yeah, Mine does so much.
Yeah, it's all about turning pain into purpose.
Yeah, I'll pose.
Yeah. One of the things you mentioned was that I think you said your mum thought what you were going to do was crazy. Does she in retrospect think it was crazy? Was there a point at which she was like, not so crazy, I'm with you? Or like, how did she view her doing still 17-year-old son doing this incredible but frightening thing?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my mum's my hero. Like I don't always mention her, but like she is unreal. Like, so I don't really talk about this, but we had a sponsor for the challenge who pulled out a few days beforehand, and I didn't know about it. I just thought it was all going ahead, and I found out halfway through the challenge that my mum took a loan out to be able to afford the challenge, and I didn't know that. But she went round the family, and my family chipped in, and she was stressing at home about looking after my dad and things like that, and she was also out there helping me without me knowing. And yeah, she was obviously scared, but I don't think she was scared about the challenge itself. She was just worried about my common sense. But also, yeah, she cheered me on at every moment, and I'm very grateful to her because, yeah, she does so much. She's a very strong woman, and yeah, slowly she agreed. I just need to persuade her for the next challenge again. Aww. It's with everything, really. She doesn't even like me going out for a long run. She'd rather me at home, but nah, I love her to bits.
Well, I mean, you doing that at the age of 17 with your incredible belief that you can just do anything if you set your mind to it, does seem somewhat frightening, because there's a lot of life and a lot of road ahead where you could really go on to do some incredible things. Do you have an idea of what you want to do in the short and in the long term?
What do I want to do?
Yeah, like do you have the aspiration of going to the Olympics? Do you want to run some crazy world record? Like, most people take 10 years to do something remarkable, whereas you've done that in 12 months.
Yeah, well, there's so much I'd love to do. Like, I'm I'm not really bothered about followers or anything like that. For me, it's about making sure I've got a story to tell my grandkids. Um, and yeah, there's so much I want to do in the running world. There's so much you can do. For me, I could go down two different routes. That I'd love to do a sub 4 hour marathon. I mean, people do that all the time, but for me, I'd love to be able to get a pace, good for a marathon. But yeah, next year, like nothing's planned. It's all just an idea. But I really want to try and run East to West America and tie that around the World Cup. Obviously, it's so much planning, logistics, and everything. But I've got a dream, and I want to make sure I can keep doing this. I'm only young, so I've still got years to run. But I used to always think that you've only got a certain amount of time for your body to be at full capacity. But I saw on the news earlier some 111-year-olds run a marathon, so it's like, yeah, I could be 70 and running the length of I'm in Asia. I don't know what will be going on, but I'd love to do as much as I can, because at the end of the day, it's also about celebrating it with your family, and your family's not going to be there forever, and I'd love to spend as much time and these moments with my grandparents, with my dad, with my mum. So it's all, yeah, taking time. You got to train for things, but I'd love to do America next, and then after that, I don't know. I have to plan that first, so we'll give that one a go first. But that's a dream.
And there's an element that, like, I mean, not that you winged it, but you didn't have years of build up and training to do what you did and run the length of the country. Can you take that approach into running across America, or do you think you need longer and more consistent, vigorous training, or do you believe that it is purely mindset, which is what can take you from one side of America to the other?
I think obviously training is very important. So America's like 3 times the size of the full length of the UK. So obviously I'll be training a lot. I'm starting my training back now. I've had a few weeks now to just recover and spend time with family. But yeah, I'm always training in that sense. And I love long distance running. I think long distance running is beautiful. But yeah, it's not, mindset is very important, but you do need training. That is important. I'd never recommend someone to just go out and do a marathon if they've never ran a day in their life, because running, although is very therapeutic, it can be dangerous. Like, there's no doubt about it. But yeah, with America, I think mainly it is mindset, because Russ wouldn't have been able to do Africa without his mindset. Will wouldn't have been able to do America without his mindset. Like, Mitch wouldn't have been able to climb Everest without his mindset. It's all about believing in what you want to do, and once you believe in it, then you keep going. But yeah, training's important.
Is your mindset something that you've always had? Like, is it something that you only found and unlocked after that month of running a mile, or can you think back to before then, when actually you did things that were crazy that your peers at school couldn't do? Or
no, I wouldn't say I was any different to anyone else as a kid, apart from not liking running. But I think there was so much going on at the time that I just wanted to push through it. I did something really daft, and I went on a first date on Twitter, right? First date. And as a joke, I put a photo of me holding flowers. I put first date tonight, absolutely bricking it. And it got like 150 million views on Twitter. Like, it was scary. And I got a lot of hate from that, a lot of positivity. But I remember looking at that, and it was like, I always use hate or rage into motivation. And it's either make or break, but I kept going in the gym, and I realised, like, with that challenge, for instance, it wasn't just me running. There was also raising the money, doing it for my family, doing it for my dad. There was so much, in a sense, on my back, but also I used that as motivation, which, yeah, I didn't feel under pressure during the challenge, but it was like there was no way I was giving up, and I'll be like that for America. There's no way I'd give up, even if it takes longer. I know people set themselves time distance, but for me, it's not about how long it takes. It's about doing it. Do you know what I mean?
And is that like public, maybe disbelief, or what creates you to have the rage, or is that because you don't look the way that a conventional ultramarathon runner looks?
Yeah. Do you know, the ultra scene it's scary. But I am trying to lose as much weight as I can. I've lost about 40 kilos now. But I'm really trying to push my body But I don't think you need to look a certain way
No,
to be able to
but-
run. Yeah.
Because I wonder if, like, I mean, first of all, that's incredible that you've been able to
Thank
lose
you.
that weight.
Thank
But
you.
presumably, if you keep training and running as
Mhm.
incredibly as you are, by the time you're on the start line running across America,
Yeah.
no one's going to be hating on you because you're going to. The public criticism is that maybe that you weigh more than the average ultramarathon runner. By the
Yeah.
time that you don't have any weight that the public can criticize you for, does that mean you're going to have less motivation because you won't be able to have as many haters and everyone will believe in you? And then, or how do you think about that?
Well, do you know what? There's a group on Twitter that still just do not like me, and like I know a lot of people got the same thing in running, especially is like running is it's not a small group because I think everyone runs, but the people that take it very, very seriously, and I don't know what it is, but they do like to hate, and so I used to take it to heart, and I think a lot of people get it, but at the end of the day, in 80 years' time, you're not going to care about that. You just got to keep going, and yeah, for America, there'll probably be a few people that will hate. I don't know what it'd be like, but I'm so grateful for the love and the support. I always talk about how the negativity can get to someone, but the support meant so much, and I don't want to live my life thinking about the negative because the positives outweigh it 100%. And yeah, if anything, the love and support fuels me on as well because I'm doing it for them people, for the people that care, and for the people that support, and mainly for my family as well.
Well, I think that's amazing. I think it's also so much more important and fulfilling and sustainable long term because I'm quite sure, hopefully, more and more of those haters start to become believers. And if you've got no haters left, you need still to have that motivation.
Yeah. Do you know what? Haters come and go. You're going to get it with anything you do. Like, even the nicest people who've done nothing wrong in life, they're going to get someone doubting you, whether it's the jealousy or just people can be horrible, but it's just, you can't let that get to you because the hate will always be there, but it's all about showing the good side and still being yourself. Never change for what people say. Like, if I'd have taken on the criticism, I wouldn't have done them mile a day. Because people are like, oh, you're running a 14-minute mile, what's this? And it's like, I've ran a mile, do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not about how quick you do a marathon, you've done a marathon. It's not how quick you run the length of the UK, you've done this. It's the same with anything in life. You know, everything takes time to build up, and hate is just going to be there. But doesn't mean you turn into a hater, and it doesn't mean you change who you are for them people. So we live and we learn.
Nice. No, I think that's an amazing attitude. And so taking it back to being in the moment, running the length of the country, can you pinpoint the hardest moment?
Yeah. I always talk about the night when it was 2 a.m. when it was hailstoning and raining, and even like the first few days were very tough because you just had to numb your mind to like what's going on next, because it was like, I can't think about weeks on end. I'm just gonna have to think about tomorrow. I remember sat in a service station, and it was only 2 weeks in. My phone wasn't working. My Strava wasn't downloading. My mum couldn't get through to me. We had problems with the sponsor. That was the day I found out like my mum would help with things, and I just remember sitting in the car crying and thinking, I'm 2 weeks in. I've still got weeks left, and yeah, Harry, my support man, helped me through that day. And that day especially was so tough because it was like a make or break moment. I could have given up there. I could have gone on a wobbler and started smashing up the car and things like that and just getting upset at random things. But we just kept going. There was loads of down points, but also so many great points. Like, I think the tough points were the start of every morning. Like, you'd wake up after maybe 5 or 6 hours sleep because your body always needs a wind down mode. Downtime.
Yeah.
And like that could be hours after you finish that you're still awake. And sometimes it'll be 4 or 5 hours. You wake up and the last thing you want to do is go out and run 22 miles. And there were so many mornings that it was like, I don't want to do this. But we kept doing it. It's all consistency. Obviously the car crash wasn't ideal. So we just got into Scotland, and like it was a big celebratory moment to us, and we're on our way back to the Airbnb. So what I did was, like Russ did, is he'd run to a certain point mark out where he finished and then go to the nearest Airbnb. So we're on our way back to the Airbnb, and yeah, we crashed into a tree, which is always nice. Yeah, support car ended up going into a tree, but yeah, that was tough. And for that like 30 seconds where we're crammed in the car, we're thinking, is this challenge over? But no, there was so many beautiful moments, and the people that we met along the way, people that were waiting outside to cheer me on, it was like, wow, this is a dream come true, and everything that I could ever imagine for, and in that sense. And seeing my dad as well at the finish line was a beautiful moment. But also in a down point, like I was missing my family a lot.
I think that's one of the things, whenever people are away from home doing something crazy or doing an ultra marathon, there's always like, oh, when I finish, I want this thing. I want to eat this thing. I want to be back in my bed at home. What was your thing? What did you want when you finished?
I don't know. You take so much for granted in life, and I just wanted to go back to the gym. I wanted to see my friends. I wanted to just be able to have a day of not running. Obviously, a Rudy's pizza. I tell everyone that I love Rudy's pizza, and just being back with my family as well. Like that was such a special moment, seeing my grandma and granddad for the first time, because they weren't well enough to make it to the finish line in Scotland, and neither was my uncle or dog. So, yeah, seeing Bruce for the first time, little Bruce the boxer dog, things like that was so beautiful. And
having been through so many hard things, and I think that takes a huge amount of mental strength to be able to overcome that. So I think you probably do have a very strong mind. But do you think that's helped you appreciate like the good times a little bit more, or like even appreciate the small things?
100%. Like the other day, I was just sat down with the dog, and I was like, I miss this. Do you know what I mean? But I'm a sop for nature. I love looking out and seeing valleys, seeing mountains, and yeah, Scotland was unreal. And like the challenge made me realise a lot about life in general, how much that we take for granted, and also what us humans can do. And yeah, there was so many little things, like I don't know, like even going for a shower, like a nice warm shower, it means a lot. And yeah, putting on some shoes and your feet aren't the size they should be was pleasant, but like just going out now and everything's okay. I don't know, everything's peaceful, everything's nice. And yeah, the challenge taught me a lot about what life is really about. I sound like some sort of spiritual guide there, but no, I mean, in terms of everything, it's it's very, very beautiful.
I just can't believe your life has changed and you had no idea that was going to come from running 1 mile a day.
Yeah, no, social media is crazy. Like the other month, I was in a room with Stormzy, Ed Sheeran, and Prince Willie, and I'm thinking, I run miles. Why am I here? Do you know what I mean? It's like you meet so many crazy people, like yourselves. It's really nice to be here, and you're meeting these people. Like
we're not Stormzy, Ed Sheeran, and royalty.
No, it's just like I can't even believe I can call Russ a friend. Like that guy, when I first spoke to him, it was after Africa. It's not like I've known him for years, and like him and so many other people that I can call friends, and I'm very, very grateful for everything. And you know, I don't take days like this for granted. Like not every day you sat in a studio talking to people like yourselves. Like these days do mean a lot, and you never know what could happen in the future. You know, you take every day as it comes, and I use this word about 800 times. I'm grateful. I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful to be alive. Life
so I guess
good.
Last question from me.
Yeah.
You mentioned you want to run across America.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing to have that as the next goal.
Yeah.
When are you going to do it? Are you going to do it on the 2-year anniversary of your mile challenge, or?
Oh.
Because do you need to have that concrete in your mind to know what's keeping you accountable in training and going to the gym and everything you're doing, or?
Well, there's two options. I either do it during the World Cup, do it before the World Cup. I'm gonna list a third option, or after the World Cup. I wanna tie it around the World Cup because I love football. So football did save my life. When I was suffering, I used to go watch Hull City all the time. I'd love to do it on the 1st of April. I think it's just all logistical things. I'd love to do it tomorrow if I could, but there's training and obviously the funding part of things that you don't see, the behind the scenes part. And with America, I'd need a big crew as well. I can't just bring Harry along. Imagine me and him down Route 66, just going along and hoping for the best.
And do you have an idea of how much something like that as a challenge would cost?
Ooh, it's a great question. Well, the UK challenge was, I didn't think it'd be really expensive. Well, obviously it is, but it was somewhere like 20,000 for the full thing, and it was like, I grew up in a small town, like that money you don't talk about. That's so much, man. So for America, it'd just be trying to find someone that believes in the project and help with it. You know, it could be like something like 100,000. It could even be more. It's like, I see these big challenges and they cost a lot of money. And that's just, I don't want luxury. I just want to be able to do it. I don't mind sleeping in, I don't know, a Texas bush if I have to. I don't know what's going on. Yeehaw and all that. I don't mind. Route 66, I'll roll down there and sleep on the floor, but I just want to be able to do it. And it was like the UK challenge. There were some days we were in a really cramped room and there was only, enough room for me and Harry. And yeah, it's not about that. I just want to be able to do it. Again, you asked me a question, I ramble on for about 10 minutes.
I mean, you're going to be in a position, and I don't doubt you will be, which is that you'll be 18.
Yes.
And you'll have ran across America.
I can buy a Guinness. Life's good.
But like, where do you go from there?
You can't in America. America's 20.
You'll have ran across America. It's like the hardest running challenge that could exist, let's say.
Yeah.
But you're 18, so like, what are you going to do next? Like,
Ooh.
or are you going to get to a point where actually you've just completed it and you're only like 19?
Life is never completed. There's something people can do no matter what. Whether that's still in the running scene, whether that's fitness. There's so much you can do in life in general. Like the end goal, you should never think about in life. I think everything is limitless. Like you see it with so many people. Like even footballers, they'll do a football career, then they'll turn into a pundit, then they turn into a movie star. I mean, you see, I saw David Beckham in a film the other day, and there's a Roman knight. I'm like, what's going on? He was hitting free kicks from Man United a few years ago, but
I haven't seen this film.
No, it does that though.
No, but
no, I agree.
I think for running, I'd love to do something that's never been done before. In that sense, I think obviously my age, I can do records for the youngest person to do something, but I want to do something that never been touched, or people have tried and not been able to do. But in terms of that, there isn't many now because everything is being done. There's a lot of challenges going on in life, but I just love to keep pushing myself, and not even for views or for money or out like that. I just want to be able to do things because we only live one life, so we got to make the most of it. And yeah, as you say, we haven't got a lot of time. So yeah, I could be 19 running the length of America. I could be 23 running the length of Asia. I could be 26 and starring in a film, hopefully.
And like you said, you might end up being 111 running a marathon. So 26 as a film star. You've still got another like 90 years of 30 more careers to come after that. So
yeah, maybe an opera singer.
Lots of space to watch, as they say.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. My granddad's he's a proper Yorkshire man. Like you ask him a question, it's yes or no. It's just one of those. He's not going to beat around the bush. But he's lived such a beautiful life. He was a farmer, and he inspires me because it shows that he keeps pushing. He's in hospital at the moment, so I was mentioning him because he's a very inspiring man to me. And yeah, I feel like there's so much he can still do. And yeah, I'm going to keep doing challenges until the day I can't no more. And the day I can't no more, we'll get some crutches and we go again. Do you know? It's just one of those. I don't mind. It don't matter what happens to your legs. You just keep going. That doesn't sound like a smart thing. I don't
condone it.
Yeah, but I do. We keep going. No,
I mean, I don't doubt that you can, because I think, like you said, you set your mind to it and you can do it. We're going to segue over to Steph for our coaching tip of the week.
Today's advice is on sleep. This is your number one recovery tool. Avoid screens and drinking too much fluid just before you're about to go to bed. Wind down by reading a book or doing some light stretching. This will only help with your recovery too.
Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by the Runna app, the number one rated running coaching service worldwide. If you want to try the app today, use code podcast25 for 2 weeks totally for free. And please do remember to rate, follow and subscribe to us on your listening platform to help us climb the rankings and so that we can keep bringing you the most interesting and amazing guests.
Thanks for that, Steph. I'm going to bring us back with our this or that. First one, Marcus.
Yeah.
Would you rather run 100 kilometers every week
Yeah.
or 15 kilometers a day?
Oh. Probably 100 kilometres a week. And I'll end up doing some random Monday morning David Goggins style 50 kilometres because we feel like it.
Can you imagine if you had to run 100k every day? Would you do it on Monday and then get it done and then just be like broken all week? Or would you, sorry, if you had to do 100k every week, or would you do it on the Sunday and have it hanging over you?
What's that per day? Is that 15k a day? No.
Yeah, but so if you have to do the 100k in one go,
Oh, is it
every
in one
week.
go? Oh.
Yeah.
so either
I do it on
so
a Thursday because I like that day. I don't, no affiliation to Thursdays, but I just like
Well,
Thursday.
if you're doing it every week, then it's still 7
Well, I
days
guess it
in
doesn't
between
matter,
each
does it?
one. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Yeah.
I
Would
love
you rather?
100k. That sounds quite fun to do.
I think I would have to go for the 100k a day.
The 100k a week.
The 100k, sorry, the 100k.
You're
I
going to
think
be
I'd
broken if you do 100k
Sorry,
a day.
I think I'd have to go for 100k a week because it's like one day of misery versus like the regular inconvenience, and then also like when you're fatigued, getting out and doing 15k, you got no chance to recover.
Mm.
I mean,
Actually, I'm going to change my mind. I'd probably think 15k a day. Just thinking about it. 2 marathons a week or 15k a day. It's like just doing a 10k and then a cool down 5k. I don't know. That sounds more
Well,
manageable.
it's basically the same mileage. It's whether you're doing it in one go or spread across the week. Annie, I guess you basically do 15k a day.
Yeah. I'd be doing that.
Fair. Okay, Marcus, would you rather every run
Mm.
you have a little pebble in your shoe,
Oh.
or you finish every run and you chafe in between your thighs?
Ah, pebble in shoe. As a bigger runner, chafing is horrible. And it can ruin like the rest of the. Well, it affects it for a while. I remember actually on the challenge itself, like I had one day where I have these Hoka shorts and they help me with anti-chafing, and I didn't wear them and I just wore some. I think it was some Hull City shorts, and the night it was. I think I had to run a marathon, and I remember looking down. I thought, right, well, there's a chance here whenever running again. It was bad. And it scabbed. I don't want to go into detail, but yeah, we're picking pebble.
Scab chafing so bad. You need the body glide.
Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah.
Oh,
I
quality.
finished my first half marathon.
Well done. No, not in that. No, genuinely, well done. That's
Oh, thank
quality.
you. But when I finished my first
No,
half,
that sounded horrible. Well, no, I meant that in a well done.
well, thank you very much. But when I did my first half marathon, I had bled between my thighs because my thighs had rubbed and I'd worn like short shorts that were too short.
Yeah.
And then they'd bled and then the blood had dried. And then everyone at the finish line thought I'd shat myself. But I'd actually just bled from my thighs that had then dried.
Aye, well, we've all been
so I
there.
can resonate to the chafed thighs. What
Okay.
are you picking, Anya?
Oh, ran with a pebble in my shoe.
Okay.
You can like move it a little bit. Sometimes I quite like a pebble in my shoe.
Oh yeah.
We're just gonna remember.
Do you want one now?
I
Should
do.
we sort you out?
I sometimes like it's quite like satisfying kind of. I've said that to Joe before. Anyway, number 3,
Yeah.
last one. Your next challenge.
Yeah.
Would you rather run with the same 5 songs on repeat, or no music at all?
5 songs on repeat.
It was so going across America.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, music is like, that helped me so much. I'm a massive music fan.
Did you
like-
have a song?
Oh, do you know, I had a playlist and I was going to put it on my social media, but I had an hour-long playlist for the last hour of the challenge, and I asked every family member to put one song in, and then I put a few that meant a lot to me, and yeah. If I had to choose 5 songs, I don't know whether that's part of the question, we'd have something from Catfish and the Bottlemen in there, a Zach Bryan song, Mull of Kintyre. I don't know whether you've heard of Mull of Kintyre by
No.
Wings, which is Paul McCartney's group. It's my grandparents' favourite song.
Oh.
And then, again, this is not what you've asked me, but I'm thinking now. Something by Oasis and Zach Bryan, something like that. Music is life. I don't know. I don't think I could even do a 5k without music.
We'll add them to the Runna playlist.
Absolutely. So our final question we like to ask everyone, and I
Yeah.
feel like you could come up with something slightly rogue here, is to design your dream race.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, you can make your race any distance,
Yeah.
anywhere in the world. And then with that in mind, what would the finish line celebratory food and drink be?
Aye.
And who gives out the award?
So to the top of the stairs. No,
To the Chinese 200 meters away.
It's 1 mile.
No, I think my dream race. Like, does it mean a race or is it all in one go?
Whatever you want to understand it to be. It could be a multi-day ultra marathon. It could be a big 5K track race. It could be a race across America.
Well, my dream would be to run full length of South America, finish it in Brazil next to Rio's beach because I've always wanted to go there, and to give out the award, Liam Gallagher. I don't know. I think to be nice and emotional, my grandma or granddad, but Liam Gallagher, yeah.
Nice.
No, I think
what food and drink are you enjoying on the finish line?
a Rudy's pizza and a pint of Guinness. No, that's underage drinking. Apple tizer. Yeah. No, I'd love a pizza would be unreal. And then an apple tizer. They're laughing now.
Thank you so much for coming on and
thank you
sharing
for having
such
me.
an amazing story.
Sorry for rambling on and
No, don't be silly.
talking.
And no, it is truly amazing to just understand from you this sheer belief that you can do anything, and it really
Thank you
is the
very
case that
much.
if you believe you can.
No,
I think
thank you for having
You're
me.
a testament to that, and we can't wait to see what you achieve running across America and
Thank
then
you.
everything for the 100 years that follow.
Oh, both of you are legends. Like, this genuinely, I've had a laugh and a joke here, but this means a lot.